We're live. Good morning, Patriots. How are you today? This is Mike Cook, the Patriot, coming to you live from Central Missouri. It's approximately 7:02 p.m. on January 31st, 2021. The year everything gets fixed. I really, truly believe that. So I hope you're having a great evening. I hope this weekend was great for you. I was having a fantastic weekend. A little bit of rain, which not so good for us, but great for the farmers. As you're jumping on, say hi where you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching from, because if you don't say anything, I won't know. I have a great guest to interview today. I'm going to start trying to do an interview on Sunday evenings. I'll skip the Super Bowl next week because everybody be watching that. Maybe you guys won't, but other people will. So anyways, if you like what my content is, please share these videos, because Facebook is squashing me. And also check me out on Parler. Go over there and like me. I'm just short of 1,000 followers, a couple more and I'm over. So let's see if we can get to 1,000 there. This is me on the YouTubes. I'm live right there now. You can watch me live there. And also all my videos are there. All of them are on Rumble. I load them up afterwards. This is my MeWe. This is my Parler. I went real fast. I'll slow down. Parler, I heard, is supposed to be coming back shortly. Let's hope. I like Parler. I'm on the other ones. I promise. I've been promising. I'll get that squared away. I'll try to do that when I get home tonight, but I probably won't because I'll get distracted. Anyways, let me know where you're watching from. I appreciate everybody jumping on. We got a great local guy I want to introduce. I'm going to mess up his name because we practiced it. His name is John Sultanob. 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 John
Sultanob.
is,
yeah, that works. You did good.
Okay. John is
How's everybody?
from the local area, and he is running for the health board. And this is important because, as you know, I know a lot of you are watching from all over the place. But it's your health boards that locked you down, shut you down, masked you up, put your businesses out of business. With your health boards, they have so much power. So anyways, how you doing today, John? Introduce yourself to these folks. And I just want to add one thing. I'm going to have my chat feed up. Wait till the end. We get closer to the end of this. We might be able to answer some questions from you. So go ahead. I just springing that on him. I didn't tell him I was going to do that because I just thought of it. So go ahead, John, introduce yourself and what's going on in your life and why you're running for the health board and what that means.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? My name is John Sultanov, and I appreciate Mike having me on this platform. It means a lot. I'm from Pettis County. I lived here basically my whole life, and I'm running for the local board of trustees, the health department, and I just feel like it's time to stand up and make a change. The little town boards, they control a lot, so we got to step in those shoes and just start fighting back. It's time.
So let's see. You've lived here your whole life, but your family they're imported from other places. We've talked a little bit about this off the air. Give us your background, your history, where your family comes from, things you've dealt with, that kind of stuff.
So my family is originally from Ukraine, Russia area. The time of my grandparents, communism was at its probably strongest point, and there was a lot of persecution, actual persecution. Freedoms of religion and speech and all the other freedoms were taken away. You couldn't have any kind of firearms or anything like that, and it was just tough. Communism took its course, and my grandfather personally, he went through a lot. He actually got prisoned for being a person that believed in Christ. You either had to denounce your faith completely or go to prison. They left you with no choices, or a lot of times people just got killed. I have family members that also got killed just because they didn't want to denounce Christ. So basically, after that all happened, my parents were born. Everything started getting slowly better, but still, it was pretty tough because anywhere you would go, it was always the first question. If you meet somebody, hey, do you believe in Christ or this and that? And if you say yes, then automatically they don't care what degrees or anything you have, you're not getting the job or whatever, or you're, at a cash register, they'll send you home, not let you buy. It was just, it was just horrible because of, freedom of religion. So it was pretty tough. In the church up there, they were gathering at nights. They were gathering in the forest. They were gathering in spots where you would not get caught, because if you would get caught, you would go to prison. If they found a Bible in your hands or somewhere in your home, you're going to prison or getting killed. And that's how it was. The church was praying and reaching out to God, and finally, God, I guess, from what I understand, God reached out, through prayers in the spiritual realm. Somehow there was people in the United States, lawyers and judges that found out about the situation. They started passing laws, and finally they opened up their doors for the Ukrainians, the Russians, to get out of there. The Soviet Union said, "Hey, we don't want you here, but if someone else wants you, you can go." So the United States said, "Of course, we'll take you. Everyone's welcome here. This is, free. This is what freedom is about." So that's how my parents went up there, and flew in, got plane tickets. I think they were also purchased by, someone in the United States, and they flew into Sacramento, California, and that's where I was actually born. And then the rest is history. And thousands of people came to the United States this way. So,
And
just a
most of them,
short
most of
version of
them
that.
were Christian, God-fearing people. They really weren't very political. I'm assuming they just were trying to flee from the situation they were in.
Absolutely, yeah. The bottom line is, I think it may have started political or whatever. I remember back, in the 20s, everyone had firearms for hunting and stuff. Slowly, everything got taken away. All the freedoms kind of got destroyed, and then the last thing that was left, it's either you're a religious person or you're not. That's it. That was the bottom line. If you are, that's where you're gonna go, and if you're not, then you can live, enjoy life, whatever. So that's where it all, went.
So you're saying they took everything away from you, and then they took religion from you.
That was the last step. Yep.
So you're in the United States. How did you wind up in Missouri?
So, many years ago, I was born in Sacramento, lived there for a few years. Parents, I think that they were just on a road trip or something, and for some reason, I think they drove through Sedalia, and they just felt something, like they felt like it's home or something like that, and they just moved there. I remember our family was one of the first Russian Ukrainian families, in Pettis County, and I think I was probably, my siblings and I were probably the very first Russian people that went to, our school district 200. So I don't remember anybody else besides us. And then a few years later, just one family after another started moving here, and now there's thousands of us.
It's a very large community, very strong community, very religious community. Is that true here in
Absolutely.
Missouri?
Yeah. So statistically, by percentage, there is the most Russian Ukrainian people in Pettis County by percentage than any other county or state or town in the whole United States. And yeah, a lot of them still hold on to their religious beliefs. So we have like 8 churches, I think, here in Pettis County. Just Southern Baptist Russians and evangelical, and that pretty much like that. Yeah.
Right. So you're running for the Pettis County Health Board. Why is that important? What kind of, maybe you could talk about a little bit about the last year or so and how that culminated to you deciding to make this decision.
Okay. Do you want the short version or the long version of
Oh,
this
we
story?
got, just give the best version, whichever it is. It's fine.
Okay, so I remember as a teenager and whenever I first started dating my wife and stuff, I always told her, hey, like once we get settled down, once we have, achieved some of our goals, business goals or whatever, and once we have children and stuff, I was like, something in my heart just wants to do something for the community and just do something, politically, because for me I felt it at a young age, and I almost felt it like a personal thing, because the United States helped us, they brought us in, so why not do something in return? That's just kind of how I looked at it. And, and a few years ago, I decided to run for Western Commissioner. That was kind of my first little political move to get that experience. And within the first year, or within the last year, with everything going on with these mandates, with the corruption at its highest levels, it's just time to I feel like the Lord is just starting to push these ideas upon people and get people in the right positions to start, standing up for what they believe. Feel like it's time. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. I just want to do I feel like we need proper people, in those spots, in those positions.
Well, okay. So, but why the health board? I mean, why
Well,
all the other teams? What's so important about health boards?
well, mandates are just they're not right. Like with what happened with the Pettis County situation with the mask mandates and stuff. I just my boy, he went to school for the first year this year, and he's homeschool, a Christian-based homeschool, and just for those reasons, I'm not gonna put up with somebody telling me or my family what to wear or what not to wear or to take a vaccine or not. I have a huge issue with that. That's I mean, that's the beginning of complete freedom takeaway, you know, and it's just not right. It seems like, oh, it's no big deal, just a mask, but no, it's first wear a mask, then wear 3 masks. It's just not gonna stop. You give them a little bit, you give them a centimeter, and then they take a foot of you away from you, we can't do this. We cannot let it happen. So I'm against the mask mandates. I think everyone has their choice to do whatever they want. If you want to wear it, of course, do
Liberty.
whatever you want. Absolutely. Do whatever you want. If you want to wear 4 masks, if you want to wear one, that's cool. I'm okay with that. But I have an issue where someone's going to get forced into it, or somebody's going to get forced into getting their business shut down while the other corporations are running. It's like a mob mentality, and it's not right. It's just not, it's force and it's not right.
Well, here in the central Missouri in Pettis County, we had just like everywhere else in the country, starting about this time last year, we had a big, big, big panic. We had this coronavirus, 14 days to stop the curve to bend the curve turned into 7, 8, 10 months. No mask, then you have to wear a mask. Everybody has to shut down and stay home. It just got crazy. And through this process, Pettis County, we stood up and we said no. And we fought back against our health board. You were involved in some of that, correct? Is that correct? Am I right there?
Yeah, I helped with what I could. I was just trying to learn the whole thing because COVID was so new to everybody. No one knew what it was in the beginning. So, but then once we started learning over time, as months went on, we started seeing what's actually happening and we started taking a stand.
And here in Pettis County, the health board was doing things that we didn't think was to our best interest. And of course, there were people on the other side of this issue also. And everybody has a right to have their point of view, and we don't have a problem with that. But they were trying to mandate, just not follow the rules themselves and mandate these laws. And we stood up as a group and said, no, we're not going to do that.
Absolutely.
And we were able to turn that around. And Pettis County never went into the authoritarian, everybody's got to wear a mask, everything has to be shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And we found some stuff out about the board, that these people were basically unelected. And now we have several people, I'm going to be interviewing some of them, that are going to run for the board because once you get your name on the ballot, they have to have an election. Is it correct?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I understand it? Mm-hmm. So you're going to run for the board what's the reasoning? What do you want to accomplish as being on the Pettis County Health Board?
So personally, I think that the health board, it's not a governing body. It's not a board that mandates things. It's an advisory board that advises, as a team, advises other people, in political positions what to do and what not to do. And that's the whole thing. We need people in there that are gonna look at it that way and that are gonna work as a team. Not one person is going to make some kind of law or mandate when the other 4 are just sitting or whatever. It's not right. I feel like we have to work together as a team. We have to get elected in. We can't just be grandfathered in and just work as an advisory board to help the people, to actually, I feel like the people need to have a voice, and that's a lot of times people feel like, oh, there's people in political power that take care of everything, but I have no voice, and I want to personally talk to individuals and see what they like, what they don't like, and bring that information with me onto the board meetings and see what we can do to benefit the people of Pettis County.
Well, yeah, and I had a question that just went away. I'm having a Biden moment.
It happens.
So I believe that these boards, your local school boards, your local city councils, this is where we need to start taking this country back. We need to get right thinking, free thinking Americans. And I don't care what political party you are, as long as you believe in liberty and freedom and you believe in following the rules, I'm okay with that. We can argue out in the arena of ideas, the ideas we have. But it seems to be we're in a climate of just shutting thought down. What do you think about what you see in the media today and how they're shutting things down, even on the local level?
I think it's pretty disgusting personally. I feel like, if there's an issue, it needs to be talked about or resolved, or the both parties get together and discuss it. There should not be a one-sided thing going on and the rest of the questions just getting shut down by, big tech and the media. Is just not right. And that's another thing that I feel like I can bring is transparency. People need to know what's going on. They need to know what happens at the board meetings. They need to know what we advise and etc. So that's kind of my take on that. And also let me add this. I do agree with you. You just said that we have to start taking things back on the local level. That's absolutely 100% right. I feel like everybody needs to get involved in their own way. Everybody should have a voice and everybody needs to get involved, especially on the local level. We start here and then we work our way up, Personally, with my family background and stuff, a lot of like Russian, Ukrainian older people, they think that as, Christians or Baptists or whatever, they call themselves, we have no right in politics at all, but then if we, so they, a lot of older people, they kind of, oh, we shouldn't get involved, let that be done on its own, whatever. But me personally, it's like looking at the Bible, David and the other kings, that's a political, but the king is a political position, it's, and other, other ways that God, work like that through the Bible. And it's like, we just need to start, we have our church that prays, we have our church that helps, but we need to start taking things back, in our small towns politically and let our voice be heard,
I agree 100%. Christians have, in my opinion, sat on the sidelines for too long.
Yes.
Your parents and grandparents come from a place where speaking out politically could be dangerous.
Yes, exactly.
But we're given that right in this country. I was told by a pastor friend of mine some time ago, I wasn't a pastor, it was a person in a church, who said that you're taking your political stand, you're supposed to give to Caesar what is Caesar's and give to God what is God. So I asked that person in this country, who is Caesar? You see, in the former Ukraine, where your family comes from, Caesar was the old power government. In Rome, Caesar was emperor. But in the United States of America, supposedly, Caesar is you and me. And everybody on here watching, we control this country, of the people, by the people, for the people. That was the founding. That was the different experiment that this country created, was individuals are in charge of themselves first and the government second.
Exactly.
And not the other way around. And so you, as an immigrant family, coming here and stepping up as an American,
absolutely,
to the positions in your community is where we need to be. Not just you, but everybody needs to step up.
Amen.
If you have ability, step up to your in your community. Run for school board, run for health board, run for city council, run for a commissioner. You said you tried that. You didn't win that, I assume, because you're not a commissioner.
Right. Yeah.
Run for other positions And if you can't run, then advocate. Get out there and help. Find somebody to get behind. Speak out. Do Facebook. Do whatever, YouTube, Twitter, Telegram, whatever it is. But it's you who run this country. Everybody out there watching this right now, it's you that make this country. And we are blessed. Nobody else on this planet has the authority that an American citizen has, because we run this country. That's the way it was set up and started. There's no other country, and like your family came from a place where there was no hope. That's why we have hope. And let's not lose it, because we're in a precarious position right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I am sorry, Mike, if I interrupted you.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like growing up and stuff, I listened to, hundreds of stories, about my grandpa, the stuff that happened in prison, and how, you were mocked and laughed at and beat up, and stuff like that. And from my mom and uncles and etc. And it's like, and I was thinking to myself, like why am I gonna live here if I'm not gonna do something back for the country that did something for us? Because what's the point? What's the point of living off of a country that does so much, that offers so many freedoms and etc.? So why am I just going to sit there and enjoy the good 9 to 5 or whatever? That's what I was doing back then. And why am I just going to do that? Living off of the stuff that many great people have fought for, the freedoms. So that's what I'm saying. It's like everybody that's in this nation has a lot of things to be thankful for, a lot of things. Because if you came from the country where my parents came from, trust me, you can't even speak out, Today you can go on Facebook, it's getting
a little
moderated
harder
now.
Facebook, right?
Yeah. But there you go to your town square or whatever, say something, and you may not come out alive. You know what I mean?
Right.
So God gave us this opportunity in this nation, and we have to take it. We cannot just live life, be 70 years old and wonder, oh, what if I ran for this, or what if I tried this or that out? You know what I mean? So that's just kind of my mentality about it. I just feel like we got to stand up. You know what I mean?
Well, if more of us stand up, and I think people are waking up and standing up all over this country in the different ways and different mindsets, different, I hate to say this, I was talking to my mom, and she was mentioning my brother who lives in Maine, and he's actually a communist. He thinks we should go communist. I should introduce him to you. He's a Bernie Sanders guy. And but he's like going, what's going on around here right now? What's happening? This ain't right. Things that are going on. So people are waking up in their own ways and realizing that things aren't right, and we need to step up. And that's why I decided to do these interviews with guys like you, because you're stepping up at a local level. I mean, it doesn't seem like much, Pettis County Health Board.
Right.
But it's a big deal. In your city, if you're watching me from one of these big cities, your health boards are the ones that shut down your businesses and destroyed them. Your health boards are the ones that made you all wear masks and now telling you to wear triple masks and get anal swabs or whatever's coming down the pipe. It's your health boards making these decisions. They're unelected and unaccountable. So, and some of them are elected. Ours happen to be unelected and unaccountable. And we don't need bureaucrats to be powerful. We need the people to be powerful.
Absolutely. Another thing that I just thought of that's really important to me, like for me, I worked at a factory for a few years, and then I decided to go out on my own, started doing real estate and stuff. And I remember, like, for even you're self-employed and stuff, it's tough to be self-employed sometimes. It's tough. And to see many businesses, on local levels or nationwide levels, get shut down while other corporations are growing, it's just not right. It's just not right. And I have an issue with that, because people work hard. The mom and pop shops, they work hard. Everyone's trying to provide for their families. And a few people make a decision to shut your doors, I mean, that's not right. We cannot allow that to happen. We just cannot. So the local economy is very important to me anyways. I feel like that's what makes up, our county, and that's why our county is so great. We have so many great people and businesses and stuff, and we got to stand up for them. We need to be that voice for them.
Exactly. And you was talking about, it kind of seemed like they would shut down those small businesses. They would shut down all that. But Walmart, you could cram people into Walmart or Costco's or whatever. Amazon was making money left and right. It just seemed like the big corporations were doing it, but the little mom and pops, and something came to my mind, well, how can the little guys compete against Walmart anyways? They came to town and killed all the small business, all the small grocery stores. And that's true. Even here in little old Sedalia, Missouri, when Walmart came to town and put all the little mom and pop grocery stores out of business. However, a monopoly creates a vacuum, and that vacuum creates a secondary market. This is just economics. If you look around this town right now, this little old town, Sedalia, Missouri, we have a large Ukrainian Russian population or Eastern European population. We have a large Hispanic population. There are Eastern European grocery stores and coffee shops popping up all over town. There's little Hispanic grocery stores and restaurant type places popping up all over town. Those are direct competition, filling a niche that Walmart is incapable of filling because they're too big.
Exactly.
And so, we got a real good, my wife has a real good friend who's Russian. Her name's Helen, and she always brings in Russian candies for my wife, trying to fatten her up or something. I don't know. But I guess she gets them at one of the little shops in town. But those businesses are successful because they're able to fill a niche. That's what competing in the marketplace is.
Exactly.
But when the health board comes in and shuts them down, they have no opportunity to compete. So that's where we're at. That's what we're talking about here today. You got any more thoughts that we can, and then maybe I'll tell you what, if you guys have a question you'd like to ask John or me, go ahead. I've got the comments up. If there's any questions, go ahead and ask. And you got any more thoughts, Wyatt, because it's going to the delay to get back to us there on them questions.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, to anybody, for me, like I also, once I get into a political position, I want to inspire other people my age to get out there and start doing things, because there's like a huge age gap. Like I have a friend of mine that's politically involved. Israel. He's a good guy, does a lot of great work for Pettis County, and he's young. And it's like there's like an age gap between younger people and then older people, and it's like I think everybody needs to get involved. So I just wanted to encourage everybody. It's not that hard to get out there and do something for our community, because our kids are going to depend on it as time goes on. So,
well, let me ask you this: what's your age?
I'm 26. I'm going to be 27 next month.
20. Boy, I would like to be 26 again. It was a couple years ago.
That's right.
So far, everybody's commenting about communism and let's see. Saying certain politicians are communist, that people want to wear masks, want us to make us wear masks the whole time. So there's no questions coming up yet. Anybody have any questions, go ahead and ask us. I'll stall for a minute, see if you pop up. If you have any questions for John Bauer, Pettis County Health, or any of those. Once we're not live anymore, we won't be able to answer your questions live. So if you're watching on the rerun, we'll be able to do that. So any more parting shots you want to make? What's your goals? What do you when's the election here in Pettis County?
So there's I believe I took a look at the list. I believe there's 10 people running for the health board. This year it's April 6th. So that's pretty cool to see that there's an interest in those positions. I just pray that God willing we can get them filled with people that will actually do the right thing. That's the most important thing. So yeah, that's coming up April 6th. That's not too long from now. So God willing, we get in there and start moving things the right way. But we'll see. It seems like COVID's starting to kind of disappear a little bit. So it might not even be a topic 6 months from now. But either way, we need, like-minded individuals in proper positions to do the right thing.
When the next thing comes along, we need to have control with free-thinking individuals of the scoreboards.
That way the people know that, hey, we don't have to worry if some new, COVID-52 comes around.
Yeah.
We need the people will sleep good at night knowing that there's good people that will take care of things. So,
well, we can call it the Biden flu instead of the Trump flu.
That's right. Exactly.
Somebody's asking where Brad is. He's talking about Brad Barton. I interviewed him a couple weeks ago, and Brad is a busy man. I'm still in contact with him, and we may try to find a time to do it again. We'll have to sneak it up on everybody so Facebook doesn't squash it, but we
That's
will.
right.
Maybe we'll get a chance to get him back on again and interview him. He's a great guy.
That's a good
Let's
interview, guys. Listen to it if you have not. It's very good. Very good. I
uh,
listened to it twice already.
You can watch it on YouTube, Rumble, and if you scroll down my Facebook, it's easier to find on Rumble. In fact, it's one of the most highest rated ones I have on Rumble. So if you go to my page on there, it's probably at the top. So how do you go about running for a local official? Let me pop this up on the screen. I think I can do that. How do you go about running for a local official? I heard you need to have a certain income, money saved or paid to run. You didn't have to have any money to run. I don't think you have to have any money to run at local level. It depends
Right.
on how big your town is and what kind of politicking you have to do. But I
Right.
don't.
Like exactly. Like this position does not require, this position is not even a paid position, by the way. It's just a, public office position, and you just go out there to visit. If you have any questions about that stuff, just visit with Nick Lestrada, the clerk, and he will give you all the paperwork and everything you need to get going. But it's not too hard of a process.
And whatever your town is, whoever is in charge of the election in our particular
Yeah.
state,
Sorry
it's a
about.
clerk. That's okay. But you may have to find your local community and who's in charge of the election. And they'll have all the rules and qualifications you need for any particular job that can be elected for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So can we trust what his position is on what he's sharing? Can they trust you? That's
Um,
what
I would hope so, but I think, I think that time will show. Time will show. I mean, I'm not gonna change my mind. My family's been through what they've been through, and all the stuff that I was told, and how I was raised, and the way I believe, it's very personal for me, and it's not gonna change. So, I mean, I'm
well,
not.
it's hard to trust people. We've been betrayed by a lot
Yes,
of politicians here lately. So
I agree. Absolutely, I get it.
I'm getting a lot of comments, but not a lot of questions. So I tell you what, any last thoughts before we wrap this up?
That's it, guys. I really appreciate Mike you having me on here. It really means a lot to me. The election is April 6th. There's several people that are like-minded and that want to take things and do things the right way that are running. So just do your research on that, see who you want, and I would really appreciate your vote on April 6th. I appreciate the time, Mike.
Not a problem. I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to pop you off the screen and do my closing comments. And people are asking about Brad, if we can trust Brad. Look, Brad doesn't tell you that anything he's saying. He says, do your own research. He's showing you what's out there. And trust me, he's not showing it all to you. There's a ton more. If you did your own research and looking into this stuff, it would blow your mind. And I'm going to talk about some of that. If you catch me tomorrow around 8:30, I'm going to go into some of that right there. I think that's where my thought's going to go tomorrow. So anyways, we thank John for joining us. I'm going to jump off here. Make sure that you like, comment, and share this video. That helps me spread the word around. Go over to Rumble, and I'm just shy of 1,000 followers on Rumble. I'd like to hit 1,000 tonight. So go on over there and follow me. Watch my videos. Watch the reruns over there. Share it from there. I'd appreciate it. I'm also on YouTube. I don't promote it as much because YouTube is, like Facebook. Anyways, MeWe and Parlor's coming back. Follow me over there. I do appreciate everybody jumping on and watching. It is a blessing to me to have you guys on. Let me pop that off the screen. I'd left that on there. It's a blessing to me to have you guys on watching little old Mike from little old Central Missouri. And I do appreciate it. I expect to have more interviews on Sunday nights. I might bring John back on. I know I got a couple others asking me. So we won't do one next weekend during the Super Bowl, but afterwards we'll try to throw some more on. So I do appreciate everybody. Have a great weekend. I'll catch y'all later.